Hi, this is Letty C with Lifestyle and Fitness, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about makeup. Makeup specifically for women 35 and over, 40 and over, and I am a makeup lover. I've always loved makeup, but the older I get, I realize that all the makeup techniques that I used to use in my 20s, even in my early 30s, just aren't working out for me anymore. So instead, I have realized that a more natural look works better for an older woman. So my go-to look is very simple, and it just requires basic kind of makeup and applied in with simple techniques, but it gives you a natural look, but you still look polished and finished and confident to go and tackle the world. So let's get started. First thing that I do, especially if I'm going to go out at night, I'm pretty much going to use a foundation primer, and this is the one that I've been using by Bare Minerals. The reason for this is obviously the older that we get, the more lines that start appearing. And what this does is basically act like little filler for all of those lines. It gives you a nice, smooth surface to work with, and basically doesn't let the foundation or the powder settle into those lines, which all that ends up doing is emphasizing the lines even more. So once I have that, I let it sit for a little bit, and we're going to move on to foundation. I jump around from foundation to foundation all the time. This one, latest one that I've been using, I found at Target. It's called number 7. It's called Stay Perfect. But more importantly, it has SPF, and it's hypoallergenic. So the SPF for me is crucial, especially now that summer's coming, spring is here. I'm definitely going to not only be applying SPF on my face after my moisturizer, but then I also like having it in my foundation just as an added barrier against the sun. Make sure that the blender sponge is nice and moist, and I just basically scoop a little bit and I start to dab. So what this is going to do is basically going to have a little bit better coverage. This foundation specifically is more of a medium coverage, so it'll be great for daytime. Doesn't feel heavy. Next, what I like to do is use a little bit of a bronzing powder, such I'm using MAC's bronzing powder in bronze. So I tend to like creating those deep cheekbones, and the best way to apply this is basically in a C motion. So you're going to start at your temples, and you're going to bring it down, put a little bit on the sides of your nose, bridge, and we're going to kind of exaggerate it because then we're going to blend it. After that, I get something of a pinky color, just a little bit lighter. Can't really see that, but here it's kind of like a pinky color, and that's what's going to go on my cheeks. on my actual apple of my cheeks. And finish off the top. So once I do that, I'm going to get a thicker brush and we're going to blend that in. Starting with a matte base, this one is called white chocolate, but pretty much a neutral with no shimmer kind of base is what you're going to be putting on all over your lid. So I like to use a big fluffy brush because I like to basically spread it from lid to the bottom of my brow. And once that's done, we're going to move on to actually doing your darkest color, which is going to be a chocolate brown. So my darkest color, my chocolate brown, that's a little foundation there. My chocolate brown I use to line my lid. I used to use eyeliner. I only use eyeliner now when it comes to going out at night. If I'm gonna go out for some sort of gala, that's when I'm now using my eyeliner. So I'm gonna use a very thin brush. You can see here with this brush is going to act as my eyeliner, and I'm basically whisking it along the lid, the eyelash line, and give it a little bit of a wing there. If you wanted to, you could then put a tiny bit along your lash line here. Just to give it a little bit of definition as well. So the eyes are almost done. The only thing that I'm going to add to it now is a little tiny bit of shimmer. This one is almost the same color, but this one has a tiny bit of shimmer. So I'm going to get a brush like this just to give it some sparkle right on the inside. Remember, the only thing that I put on at this point there, this color is called Champagne. And lastly, we're going to use something a little bit deeper. Not as dark as the brown, but I like to do maybe like a copper, still all in the brown families. Remember, to give this natural look, you're basically just adding shades of brown to your eye. So I'm going to pack it on here and do a little bit of a V. So your V is basically going to sit like this. So you want it to go in to your lid. Okay. And then now with the same fluffy brush that we used at the beginning, we're going to blend. So this is where all of these shades will literally come together. See the difference? So once that's done, comes mascara. So lately this is the one that I've been using. I've been using, again, drugstore. It is Voluminous False Fiber, and I believe it is from L'Oreal. Yes. So it's Voluminous False Fiber Lashes in black lacquer. So remember, guys, mascara needs to be black. No funky colors, no browns, just black. Lightly just touch the bottom lashes, and then one last second coat. Lately, I've also been enjoying filling in my eyebrows a little, having fun with it. I tend to use more of a medium brown. I don't like my eyebrows that dark, but I just use, again, a thin liner brush and nothing fancy. I know that there's all these eyebrow tutorials, but pretty much I just want a little bit of definition, and I don't have time. It's not like we're going out to, like, you know, a prom or anything. So just for every day, I just like to fill it in just a little bit. I start here with the point, and I basically work it into the shape that I kind of want, going over my own eyebrow, and then from there I kind of extend it to where it needs to be, which should be right around there. Sometimes I wet the brush a little bit if I really want a nice crisp line. See the difference? And also, for whatever reason, my eyebrows are now having a tendency to lie flat instead of up. So this also kind of fills in that area that is being left empty when they tend to do that. So finally, we're going to do the concealer. So everything here, I'm just going to brush it off with my big brush just in case anything fell. And we're going to use this finger. I'm just using a concealer from NYX. Obviously, you can use a liquid one. I'm using a cream one. I tend to like to be able to place it where I need it. And since the foundation that I use has pretty good coverage, I'm not really worried about any of my dark spots. I mean, especially for daytime. And you could put a little bit extra because pretty much you're going to use your same blender brush. If not, you could just blend it in. Again, with your ring finger. Your ring finger is your weakest finger in your hand, so it tends to do less damage. And ladies, if you also have any redness, we tend to start having a little bit of redness right here around our nostrils. I tend to have a deep furrow there, and even in your laugh lines, you can go ahead. What happens is these lines recede. So when you add a lighter color to it, actually makes those laugh lines less defined. And lastly, our lips. I'm a lip liner girl. I haven't been blessed with big full lips, so I need to use a lip liner. My MAC Spice is all the way almost at the end, however, still works. And it's a neutral enough shade that it could work for day and night, depending on the lipstick that I place over it. A nice neutral pinkish nude lipstick. This one's from Clinique. This one's called Crystal Baby. And kids are running around downstairs. And that's it. So that is my go-to neutral look. 15 minutes, done, and ready to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this natural makeup tutorial for women over 40. And please subscribe below and share with your friends. Thank you.